Good evening. Today is Monday, March 10th. This video will be a recap of the alerts that were posted by Stockwits Academy. So I'll be reviewing them on the 5-minute chart, which will help you give you an idea of what to look for before entering your trades. And I'm going to review them in the same order as the way they were given out, which is chronological order here. Also, I have my legend here of my color coding for my moving averages, and as well as the levels that I chart each day, which is yesterday's high, low, 60-minute opening range, high and low, and pre-market high and low. And they're all color coordinated as well. So let's get started. The first alert that was given out was CELH, and that was given at 7:36. So again, I'm reviewing the 5-minute chart. So if we look at 7:36, which would have been right on this third green candle here. So this is a prime example of why you don't just jump into a trade when an alert is given out. Because if you look, you can see that that candle, it was losing steam. So it had a big green candle, a second big green candle. By the time it got to the third one, it was definitely losing steam. And we got to our opening range reversal. So this would have been right at 8 o'clock, which of course would be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm on Mountain Standard Time, so my market opens at 7:30. You can see here this is the first candle, and my first alert was at 7:37. But anyways, this is your rejection point here, which is your 30-minute opening range, which is also the same as 60-minute because it didn't go any higher. So you definitely did not want to jump into this trade, although your moving averages were all looking good. MACD was looking good, but you can see here, this gray line is the Bollinger Band. And when the price gets outside of the Bollinger Band, there's most likely going to be a pullback. And this purple line is VWAP. So it was above, trying to get above VWAP, but also way outside the Bollinger Band, you can see. And so then you had to expect a pullback, which it did. And sometimes this is where you get a pullback to VWAP and then it'll continue on. And in this case, it didn't. It broke down and went the opposite way. So if you were waiting for an entry point around here, you didn't get it because obviously it reversed and went down below VWAP. So that trade went the opposite way. And then as you can see the rest of the day, it just kept going down. If you tried to catch a couple reversals, you could have caught a little bit of an upside here and here. Oh, sorry. That's my grandson crying. You could have caught some upside there. Okay, so the next trade that was given, or next alert that was given out was DG. So let's look at DG. Okay, so here we have DG, and that alert was given at 7:41. That was a call as well. So let's look at the chart at 7:41, which was right around here. So looking at this chart, you can see that, again, your MACD is in an uptrend. All your moving averages are in an uptrend. Price is trying to get over VWAP, and it's staying kind of right along the Bollinger Band. Like here you can see it went way out, but then it pulled back in. So this would have been a good entry point on this trade. And then you would have caught a nice upside and again, reversal at the 30-minute opening range, which it reversed, pulled back a bit, and then tried to go up over it again, and then obviously rejected down. So you could have caught a nice upside to this trade at the time of the alert. This would be one that you could have gotten in when it was alerted and rode it up some. So that was DG. Next we have HIMS, HIMS. HIMS was given out at, the alert was given out at 7:44. So let's look at this at 7:44, which would have been right around here. So again, this, if you looked at the chart at this time, you could see your moving averages are not in a nice uptrend, neither is MACD. So this would not have been a good entry point. You can see here it rejected. And if you were waiting for the pullback, it fell below VWAP, which is the purple line. So you would have been waiting till it touched off on this is the 113 SMA. So you can see here it touched down, and that's where you got the reversal, and then it started pushing up. But it was really choppy. It wouldn't have been worth getting into at that point if if you wanted to wait for confirmation over VWAP, which is right around here, this would have given you a better trade right there. This would have been way too much up and down trying to get over VWAP. Usually it's best to wait for a confirmation over VWAP, and I usually wait for a 5-minute close above VWAP on the 5-minute chart, and then you would have caught some nice upside to that trade. So that was HIMS. And then obviously here is where there was a big downside. Next we had Reddit RDDT. Where's that one right here? That was a call at 7:46. Okay, so if looking at this chart at 7:46, you can see this would not have been a good entry point. Everything's in a downtrend. Your MACD is in a downtrend. All of your moving averages are in a downtrend. And if you looked at this chart, this would have been a better opportunity to get into a put at this time. And of course, this was based on, the entire market started to go down. And so you could have caught a nice trade on the put side here. And then obviously it just didn't work out for a call the rest of the day. Tried to get, here was a little bit, tried to get to VWAP, rejected again and kept going down. So that was not an ideal entry at all there with everything in a downtrend. And that actually would have been an ideal spot for a put. So that was Reddit. Next we had PEP at 7:48. So let's look at PEP. And again, this was a call. PEP at 7:48. Which would have been right around here. Oops, here's 7:50, right here. Was 7:48. So this chart was looking really good. You can see that you've already had a pullback because price was outside of the Bollinger Bands here. Everything's moving up. All your moving averages are on an uptrend. MACD is on an uptrend. Price is pulling back here and it's holding on to VWAP. So you can see the purple line here. It's holding on to it. So if you waited that out a bit, waited for a confirmation above VWAP, which is kind of what happened here. I mean, that was a red candle, but you did get above VWAP here. This would have been your ideal entry. And then, of course, you would have caught a nice upside to that trade. This is the 60-minute opening range high, which it blew right through. You didn't even get much of a rejection there. And had a nice trade and got out up here. Up here you can see where it's going to reverse. It produced a green candle and then a red candle. Usually this is called tweezer top, and then it reversed back down. So this would have been your ideal trade right here on PEP. I mean, obviously, if you're watching it and you could have got back in around here. So the green line is yesterday's high. So it's trying to hold yesterday's high, which it did, and rejected off and went up again. So there was kind of another opportunity there on PEP. Next, we had KHC. KHC was called out at 7:49, or alerted at 7:49. So this one, this looks similar to PEP. So 7:49, which is right around here. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. 7:49, right around here. So again, you had the same thing. Price went up, went outside the Bollinger Bands, had to pull back within it, and then fought to get above VWAP. And then this would have been your entry point after the pullback, and then there's your upside to that trade right there. And again, you can see MACD is in an uptrend. All your moving averages are in an uptrend, and price just had to get back above VWAP to catch a nice upside to that trade. So that was KHC. And right now, especially in this market, it's best to take your profits when you have them. Don't try and hold out for big numbers, because this is exactly what happens and it turns against you. So your best bet is to just go for the small wins and stack them up instead of going for big wins. Next, we had TGT. And that alert was given at 7:50. This is target. So TGT at 7:50, which is right around here. So this is was alerted right up around here. So you can see this trade, when you're looking at it, you know, your moving averages are going up, but they're not in a nice upflow like the previous ones we've shown. This is all choppy. You can see trying to push up. MACD is kind of not in a nice uptrend. It's trying to get up over, but it's not. So this wouldn't have been a good entry point. And you can see here that the price actually rejected and dropped down. And then it never really set up for a call again until obviously right here. So this red line here is yesterday's low. So if you look at the chart here, it's yesterday's low. So you can see that that's where you got your reversal. And if you watched it all day and were alerted at this point, then you could have caught an upside here on this. So you could have still got a call in on this trade today, but not till later on in the day. So like Mike always says, wait for the setup. Here was your setup down here. Next was Meta, and it was a put. Let's just see at 752. So it's 752, which is right around here. So this would have been a good opportunity. So if you look at the chart right around here at 750, you can see that all your moving averages are in a downtrend. MACD is in a downtrend, and the price is on VWAP, right on VWAP, and then and that's the purple line, and then you're just waiting for a confirmation below VWAP, which you got, and then you could have gotten in here on a put and got a nice downside to that trade. This was yesterday's low, so it kind of got hung up on there, but then it did continue down, and this was the 60-minute opening range low, and it got caught up there and then fell below as well. So this would have been an ideal trade. That was a great alert. That was Meta at 752, so that would have worked out. Next we had HD. HD was a call at 753. Okay, so HD at 753. Let's look at the chart here, 753, which is right around here. So if you looked at this chart at that time, things were looking not bad. Like your MACD is trying to be in a nice uptrend. Moving averages are in an uptrend, except you've got a few that aren't. So here's your 113 SMA, which is actually in a downtrend. And this is your 113 EMA, which is not really in a nice uptrend either. So it's usually a little riskier when everything isn't all in a nice uptrend, like all moving, the same direction, which was the case here. And then you did have to be mindful of your 30-minute or 60-minute opening range high, which was right here where it rejected and then reversed down to the 113 and back up. So this wasn't really an ideal place to enter if you were going to wait for the pullback and watch it. Like here, this green candle did cross over VWAP, but it wasn't a strong candle, so that wasn't a strong indication it was going to continue going up over VWAP. And so you can see here it crossed back down. You could have gotten in here on the reversal and the touch down of the 113 EMA and caught some upside there. That would have given you a call, but then obviously the rest of the day the price did go down. So when you saw that the entire market was falling, it would have been ideal to get in here and then catch the downside throughout the day. So that would have been HD. Next we had ENPH. ENPH was alerted at 753 and it was a call. So that's probably, okay, right around here, 753, which is right around here on this candle. Okay, so looking at this chart, and this is what I always say is an ideal chart, when all your moving averages are in an uptrend, MACD is in an uptrend, and you can see price went a little bit outside of the Bollinger Bands here and then pulled back. So you got a little bit of a pullback here, which is to be expected because your price normally doesn't continue outside of the Bollinger Bands, and you were completely outside of the Bollinger Band on that candle right there. So you did get the pullback and then a continuation up. So this could have been a good trade if you got in at the time it was alerted, and you could have caught a nice upside. If you didn't get out here and you held back to the pull back back to VWAP, and then you still could have continued up in that trade. Or if you got out, you could have got back in on the pullback to VWAP and then caught some more upside as well. So either way, you could have caught, that was a nice alert, and you could have caught a nice trade out of this either way. So that was, excuse me, that was ENPH. Next, we had DELL. DELL was a put called out at 8 o'clock. So let's look at, again, this is the 5-minute chart. We'll look at DELL at 8 o'clock. Okay, so looking at this chart, so the first thing that usually turns me away from a trade is long wicks. So when it's long wicks and it's choppy, it's not setting up nicely, it's risky, you wouldn't want to be entering any time around here because everything is just, some moving averages are going one way, some are going another way, and it just looks really messy. And so MACD is, trying to go in a downtrend, but it's choppy all over the place. So your best bet here would have been not to jump in at all and just to wait it out. And which is, if you waited out and it would have caught, could have caught the reversal here at this point and caught the upside. Was that a call or a put? Oh, that was a put. Sorry. So you didn't want to get into this trade because it was so choppy, but you could have caught a reversal here and caught the upside. But then again, watching it, this would have been your put, your setup for your put for the day is once it reversed, went up, topped out up here. This light blue line is previous or pre-market high. And again, the pink line is the 60-minute opening range high. So you can see how it got to those 2 points and reversed, and then you caught the downside for the whole day. So this would have been your ideal setup for a put for the day on DELL. That was called out at 8. 801 was CAVA, CAVA. So we'll look at that one as well. And that was a put. So at 801, we're looking for a put. That's right around here. So looking at this chart at this time, this is a much better setup than DELL was. So you can see that everything is moving in a nice downtrend. Even your 113 and 113 EMA and SMA are both in a downtrend. So you could have gotten in, and your MACD is in a downtrend. This would have been a good entry point for a put at 801, and you would have caught a nice downside to that. When it flipped here, you could have reversed because look at all those green candles in a row for calls, or on the upside. So if you got into a call there, you could have really rode that up without even much chop at all, and caught a nice upside, and then again another downside here. So this chart really set up nice for flipping both ways. A put, a call, and another put. So it really would have set up for that. That was a good call out on CAVA. Next, we had PANW. PANW was called out at 802, and it was a put. So if we look at the chart at 802, that's right here. So again, this chart, it might look like it's setting up, but it's already had this big drop here. So you've had like a big drop and then a continuation, but how much more is it going to drop when you've already missed out on the big drop? So it's hard to say. Like, I mean, it's kind of setting up for a downtrend, but obviously it didn't get very far, and it reversed here. So that would have been, if you did get in that trade, you wouldn't have gotten very far with it, a put at this point, because it reversed here, and even here it was trading sideways. If you look at VWAP, you never really got a red candle below VWAP till here. So this was that was your only trade right there. So it would have been a good trade on PANW. Next we had CRWD, which is CrowdStrike. I believe, yes. Okay, so CrowdStrike, it was a put at 821. So we'll look at 821, which is right around here. So again, this one's the same way. everything's in a nice downtrend. MACD is in a downtrend. It's a put that's called out, but again, you don't know how far it's going to keep going and where it's going to reverse. We've already missed a large part of the drop. So if you got in here, it was a little more risky, and then of course the reversal happened there. So that really wasn't an ideal entry point. You could have tried for a call here on the reversal, and that would have probably given you a better trade at that point. And then again, you could have, this was setting up for a put as well. So that was CrowdStrike. Next we had ULTA, and that was a call at 9:29. Okay, so a call at 9:29, which would have been right around here. So again, looking at this chart, it's just not a nice setup, clear-cut setup. Your moving averages are in an uptrend, but they're not in a nice swooping uptrend, and same with MACD. So it was risky going in here, and then of course you have your 60-minute opening range high, which it was struggling to get over, and you can see it rejected there. So if you would have waited for the pullback, your ideal setup was here when it pulled back to this is the 50 SMA, it reversed, and then you could have caught your upside there. If you were waiting, well, it was over VWAP, kind of rode the 9 EMA, which is the dark green line here. So this would have been a good entry point here, and then obviously that was to the upside there. And then with this 60-minute opening range high, you can tell that it touched there, and then it touched again, tried to get over there and kind of did the fake breakout, dropped back down, and then finally this time it went up. And yesterday I'd mentioned that sometimes it's the third time is the charm, so it goes 1, 2, 3. This is kind of the fake breakout, so more it was like the fourth time, and that made it over. So that was ULTA. Next we had OKLO, and that was a call. OKLO was called out at 9:33. And again, these are Mountain Standard Times, so 9:33 would be 11:33 Eastern Standard Time. So if we look at the chart here at 9:33, it was a call. And this one was, so this was trying to catch this reversal. But obviously it rejected. This is pre-market low, and this is yesterday's low. And that's why it's good to have these levels marked so that you can kind of try to determine where your reversals and rejections are going to be, which is exactly what happened here. And then it rejected to the downside. So that was, it looked like it was setting up okay, but it still had some levels to try and get through, and it didn't. It rejected on them. So that was OKLO. Next we had Tesla at 9:37. So let's look at Tesla at 9:37. That was right around here. So of course, yeah, that was going for the reversal. But if you look, this is the purple line. The purple line is VWAP, so you can see that it rejected there. So if you wanted to get into a call with Tesla, your ideally you want to wait for a clear of a close above VWAP. So I would be waiting for a green candle 5-minute close above VWAP for any kind of continuation to the upside. You never got that. It rejected off VWAP, and so then it was a drop back down. So we were trying to catch the reversal here. This is the 60-minute opening range low, thinking it would reverse off there, but instead it went up, reversed off VWAP, and then fell back down the rest of the day. So that was Tesla. Next we had HD. It was a put at 12:04. So let's look at HD, which is Home Depot. 12:04. Oops, we're way into here now. Okay. 12:04. Oops, that would have been right here. So on this call out, or this alert at 12:04, the chart was looking really good. Most of your moving averages are in a downtrend. The only one that's not is your 113 SMA, where it had rejected off of there. So that would have been good to see, because then it's going to continue down because it's rejected. It's already rejected. So, it could have reversed here to retest that, but it didn't. It kept going down. So this HD was a put. You could have got in here and caught a nice downside to that trade today. So that was a good alert with a good entry point on HD. Next we had HAL, HAL. That was given at 12:05, and again that was a put. So if we look at HAL at 12:05, which was right around here. So again, this chart was looking okay. Everything's in a downtrend. MACD's in a downtrend. It just got through the 113 EMA, this black line here. It just pushed through. You can see it tried to pull back of a bit, but then rejected back down. So you would have caught a nice downside to that trade as well right at that point. So that was HAL at 12:05, a put, and it would have been, you could see that it was rejecting here, and you would have got a nice drop on that price. And it's way below VWAP. VWAP's way up here, the purple line, so it's not even trying to get up there to retest it. It's rejecting off this 113 EMA and dropping right down. So that was a good trade for HAL. Next we had Netflix. Netflix at 12:07, and it was a put. So let's just look at 12:07, which is right around here. So this this trade, this would have been, looking at this one, your moving averages are in a downtrend, but when you've already had that much of a downtrend for the day, you're going to be expecting a reversal at some point. This was yesterday's low, the red line, and so you can see it crossed below, but it was sort of like a fake breakout below and then reversed here. So there wasn't a good entry point there. If you were watching this, it was trying to push up. If you were waiting for a good entry point, there was a reversal here, so you could have caught some downside there. Excuse me. But and then here it reversed up, and obviously up here is where it rejected finally again. Got above VWAP, but never a clear close above VWAP, and then back down. So it was a bit choppy. There was an opportunity for a bit of a trade there, but that was later in the day. Or if you want to hold it as a swing, I guess it's not a swing. It was dated March 14th. So, or hold it for the week, whatever. But there wasn't much opportunity for a trade on Netflix today. Next we had PayPal. That was at 12:07 as well. So again, excuse me, that's right around here. So this one's a little different. It's trying to get through yesterday's low, which it did break below it, and then caught some downside. So this trade, you still could have caught some downside to it because it did break below yesterday's low and then kept going down. So that one set up a little better than Netflix. And again, your moving averages are all in a downtrend, but not a steep slope. So it was a little more risky. And then, of course, the reversal happened there. So that was PayPal. That was a put. Next, we had Dash, and it was a call. And it was, this is high risk. So if we go to Dash, and it was a call at 12:48, which would have been right here. So this is high risk because we were trying to catch the reversal here, but we just didn't know if it would keep going or not. Obviously, the 200 EMA is here, which is going to be a level of possible rejection, which it did. It didn't even get up to it, so it rejected and went back down. If you were watching this and you were patient, you could have caught the rejection here down to VWAP and then caught some upside there. So that's where your trade would have been on Dash. And again, you're just going for short wins on these, not big gains. So you could have caught, look, at all these nice green candles on the 5-minute. You could have caught a little nice upside and nice trade on that one today. That was Dash. Next was SPY. It was a put. at 12:58. And this was 0 DTE. It was marked as extreme high risk. So this was SPY 12:58. And this was a put. So it was right around here. The alert was given out on 12:55. This one I did watch as well. And if you got in, you could make some money on this because it was 0 DTE and you did catch some downside there. So you had some nice red candles there. If you were watching the 1 minute, it was probably lined up even better. And you could have caught some downside there on that put. But the trick with these, especially when you're playing 0 DTE and he says it's extreme risk, is get in and get out. You're not looking for a huge win on these. You just want to get in and get out with some profit and then call it a win. Next is CSCO. CSCO was a put at 104. So let's just look at the chart here at 104. Put. So this one, yeah, it doesn't say extreme high risk, but this one would have been risky because your MACD is in a downtrend, your moving average is in a downtrend, but it's so late in the day. You've missed a lot of the downside already. And that's exactly what happened here. It reversed here, went up, and then dropped back down. So there wasn't much opportunity for a trade there. A little bit here, but not here. This would have reversed on you right away, and you would have got stopped out. So that was CSCO. Next is KO. KO was alerted at 108. Again, it was a put. So this is the same thing. There's already been lots of downside. Drop below the 200 EMA here, the orange line, kind of rejected off, dropped down, and then went up. So this was just really choppy. And again, here you can see moving averages are going down, some are going up. It just would have been really risky trying to get in at that point. So that was KO. Then we had SNOW, which was a swing. I don't usually review swings. And we had APPS, which was also a swing to March 21st. So I'm not going to review those. So I hope that helps everyone. Today was definitely a tough day in the market. I feel like right now Tesla is obviously the most disappointing stock on the market right now. It's so frustrating if you hold Tesla shares. But anyways, there is money to be made on the put side, which we've shown. And on a lot of these calls as well, watch for both sides because you can catch the upside and then you can catch the downside as well. Or you catch the downside at the start and then catch the upside the other way. So it's, don't rule out one or the other because there's a possibility of both on some of these trades they set up either way. So you just need to know what you're looking for on your setups and then get in and get out. And like I said, don't try and go for the big wins, just the small gains. They'll stack up easily. Anything that's a green trade is a win in my books. So as long as you can keep your wins going and your loss is small, that's the name of the game. So don't be going for the home runs, especially not in this environment, because it's really tricky to trade and it'll turn on you. Your trade will turn against you in an instant. So anyways, that wraps up the recap for the alerts that were posted today. And I hope this video helped you. Anyways, tomorrow's another day. Good luck tomorrow. Good night.